Imagine living in a time where the simplest things, like yawning, owning a cat, or even finding an egg with 2 yolks, could get you accused of witchcraft. Fearful face in the Middle Ages, fear ruled everything, and superstition turned ordinary life into a nightmare. Today, we're uncovering the strangest, creepiest, and most unbelievable ways innocent people were branded as witches. Trust me, you won't believe how scary and absurd it really was. Number 9. The Devil's Birthmark. Back in the Middle Ages, something as simple as a birthmark could completely ruin your life. People believed these spots weren't just harmless patches of skin, they were the devil's marks. Superstitious townsfolk thought the devil himself had branded you as one of his followers. Witch hunters took this idea very seriously. They would poke these marks with long needles to see if you felt pain. If you didn't react, that was proof of witchcraft. If you did react, well, they'd say you were faking it. Either way, you were trapped. No matter the outcome, a simple birthmark could seal your fate. Instead of being just a random quirk of nature, it became a death sentence, dragging countless innocent people into terrifying witch trials. Number 8. Sleepwalking with spirits. In the Middle Ages, sleepwalking wasn't seen as a strange medical condition, it was treated as a sign of dark magic. Imagine wandering around at night, eyes closed, mumbling nonsense. Today we'd say, "Oh, that person has a sleep disorder." But back then, people thought you were in league with the devil, secretly casting spells under the moonlight. If you happened to mutter a few words while walking, neighbors believed you were reciting curses. And if something unfortunate happened the next day, like a cow falling sick or crops failing, the blame instantly fell on the poor sleepwalker. Instead of being seen as harmless, you became a suspect in witchcraft. What was simply a natural sleep condition turned into a terrifying accusation that could end in trial and punishment. Number 7. Whistling dark magic. In medieval times, even something as simple as whistling could land you in serious trouble. People believed certain tunes carried magical powers. Whistle the wrong melody, and they thought you could summon violent winds strong enough to rip roofs off houses. Another tune supposedly spoiled milk, ruining a family's food supply. And if you whistled near a graveyard, it was said you were trying to raise the dead. Even the place where you whistled mattered. Near trees meant you were meeting other witches. Inside a church meant you were defying God. To make things worse, if an animal reacted to your whistle, like a cow turning its head, neighbors took it as proof you had magical control over creatures. A harmless habit suddenly became dangerous sorcery in their eyes. Number 6. Left-handed equals devil's side. Being left-handed might not seem like a big deal today, but during the Middle Ages, it was seen as a dark connection to the devil himself. Most people were right-handed, so anyone who favored their left hand instantly stood out as strange, suspicious, and dangerous. Writing, eating, or even gesturing with the left hand was enough to spark whispers of witchcraft. The church and local courts took this belief so seriously that if you were left-handed, your testimony meant nothing. You could swear the absolute truth, but people believed it was Satan speaking through you. This prejudice ruined countless lives. Something as natural as which hand you used became evidence of evil. For left-handed people, simply being themselves was enough to risk being branded a witch. Number 5. The demon's yawn. Yawning might feel harmless today, but in the Middle Ages it was seen as a dangerous spiritual risk. People believed that when your mouth opened wide, your soul could slip out, leaving a doorway for demons to enter. To protect themselves, folks made the sign of the cross over their mouths every time they yawned. Forgetting to do so was a red flag, sparking whispers that you were already possessed or allied with dark forces. Babies weren't safe either. If a child yawned, an adult had to quickly cross their mouth for them. The fear grew stronger during the bubonic plague, when excessive yawning was a common symptom. Instead of science, people blamed the devil. What was just a natural reflex became proof of demonic influence. Number 4. Cats, witches in disguise. In the Middle Ages, cats, especially black ones, were more than just pets. They were feared as witches' closest companions. Their mysterious behavior, glowing eyes at night, and silent movements made people uneasy. If a cat followed you around or seemed unusually loyal, neighbors didn't think it was affection. They thought you were using dark magic to control it. Some even believed cats were witches transformed into animal form to spy on people or cause harm. Ironically, cats helped keep rodent populations down, which could have reduced disease, but superstition blinded people to their usefulness. Instead of being praised, cat owners were often accused of raising the devil's pets. Every purr was seen as a secret spell, and every meow a message to the underworld. Number 3. Brewing beer, brewing trouble. In the Middle Ages, brewing beer wasn't a hobby, it was daily life, and women were the masters of the craft. But being too good at it could bring dangerous attention. Imagine your beer becoming the talk of the town, smoother and tastier than anyone else's. Instead of praising your skill, jealous neighbors might whisper that you were enchanting the brew with spells. Your tools didn't help either. A big cauldron looked like a witch's potion pot, a stirring stick resembled a broom, and a couple of cats roaming around to protect the grain seemed like familiars from the underworld. Slowly, an ordinary brewery began to resemble a witch's lair. What should have been a respected craft turned into one more excuse for an accusation of sorcery. Number 2. The cheese curse. Cheese making might sound harmless, but in the Middle Ages, it could spark dangerous suspicion. If your cheese always came out creamy, rich, and perfect while everyone else's turned into rubbery lumps or sour bricks, villagers thought it couldn't just be talent. Instead, they believed you were using witchcraft to steal the goodness from their dairy. The idea was that witches could drain the quality from one person's milk or cheese and magically transfer it to their own. Instead of recognizing skill, luck, or better conditions, people saw success as sorcery. Rumors spread quickly, and soon your kitchen looked less like a workshop and more like a witch's den. In a world ruled by fear, simply being too good at making cheese could cost you your life. Number 1. The Double-Yolk Egg. Today, finding a double-yolk egg is seen as a lucky surprise, but in the Middle Ages, it was anything but. Back then, people viewed double yolks as unnatural, clear signs of curses or dark rituals. If your hens laid them too often, whispers would spread that you were dabbling in witchcraft. Neighbors feared you were either cursing your own chickens or using the strange eggs in secret ceremonies. Instead of marveling at a rare quirk of nature, they believed these eggs carried dangerous power. For women especially, success in farming or animal care often invited suspicion. A basket of double-yolk eggs could quickly turn into evidence at a witch trial. What we see as a blessing today was once enough to mark someone as cursed.